Peace, family. Well, as you know, in a couple of days, the Super Bowl is going to be played in Las Vegas. And there's already controversy, but not about the game, about this. Watch this.
There's another epic battle to watch beyond this weekend's Super Bowl showdown between the Chiefs and the 49ers. It is the fight over taxpayers footing the bill for sports stadiums, including the state-of-the-art facility in Las Vegas that's nicknamed the Death Star. NBC's David Noriega is live in Las Vegas. $750 million in taxpayer dollars into building the site of Sunday's big game, and you got an inside look. Tell us about it, David.
That's right, Chris. So this is one of the most expensive stadiums ever built. And when I got a tour of it this week, you can see why. It has a lot of bells and whistles. It's super high tech. And 40% of the cost of that was paid by Nevada taxpayers. Now, the people who lobbied to get this stadium built say that the fact that the Super Bowl is here is a sign of the stadium's success. I interviewed one such person. His name's Jeremy Aguero. He's a consultant who had a very important role in getting the stadium and the Raiders here in Vegas. Here's what he had to say.
Before we hear what this guy got to say, let me repeat this. 40% of the cost of this stadium come from taxpayers. $740 million. $740 million of your tax dollars went to the construction of the stadium. But yet, the taxpayers do not own not one percentage of revenue and profits and proceeds that come from this stadium. Once they take your tax dollars and give it to these millionaires and billionaires, now you left powerless. What's their motivation from stopping doing this? If they can take $740 million of money that don't belong to them, build a stadium that they own only, that they only paid 60% for, but they get 100% of the revenue, the proceeds, and they get to create multiple streams of income off this stadium. And yet you people, and I'm talking to my black people that live in that area, you couldn't use an extra stream of income? Your money that you put into this stadium, you should be getting a percentage of this every year that goes to your tax liability. That will lighten your tax burden. So whatever money that you do work and earn, you get to keep more of it in your home, because now this stadium is going to make money for you every week during the football season. But let's just go to show. Let me show you how much these people are screwing taxpayers all over this country behind this nonsense. Let's continue.
And the Raiders here in Vegas. Here's what he had to say. Was it worth it for the people of Las Vegas, the people of Nevada?
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Over 50% of the people that are in there come from out of town. And when they come from out of town, each one of them spends about $1,100 per person per trip while they're here. That creates jobs and wages and salaries and tax revenues. And when we have something like the Super Bowl here, those visitors are going to spend somewhere between 3 and 4 times that amount in our community.
The people are going to spend 3 to 4 times the amount they normally spend, which is around $1,100, just to go to the Super Bowl. Taxpayers that's over there in Las Vegas, see, if you had leadership that modernized over time like everything else, you could capitalize on this multiple ways. Number one, you can use your tax dollars to build this stadium. Number two, you can get a job working in that stadium to keep an eye on your investment. And number three, the money generated off of the money that you use to build it could also be going straight to your account, reducing your tax liability. So like I said before, what's their motivation to stop doing what they're doing if they could take 40% of your money, spend barely half, a little bit more than half to build this structure, and they get 100% of the revenue, and you people over there still complaining? This is what you should be arguing about. You should be letting them build 100 stadiums up under this new understanding of how business should be. But let's continue.
Amount in our community.
Chris, Nevada is about to do this all over again. They just approved $380 million for a new baseball stadium to lure the Oakland A's to the city, and not everybody is happy about that. The state teachers union actually sued to block that public funding for the new ballpark. I spoke to a teacher and union official who said that, if the state can find hundreds of millions of dollars for stadiums, it should be able to find hundreds of millions for schools, which in Nevada are some of the lowest ranked in the country. I want to play you a clip from an interview I did with this teacher that I mentioned. Take a listen.
You know what? Let's say y'all accepted new leadership and suggestions that came from it. And we say we're going to build new stadiums, football, baseball, whatever. And the revenue generated from this, based upon the percentage of money we contribute towards this construction, will either go towards your tax liability, go towards your funding of teachers, education, health. Why can't we do it like that? Now, like I say, these people have no motivation to stop doing business as usual. First, they want to open up a football stadium, and now they're going to do a baseball stadium. But let's hear what this teacher has to say about this. Watch this.
When the teachers on the front line are sacrificing to try to hold these schools together with basically tape and a stapler so that we can teach, it's infuriating.
So you spending $740-some million to build a football stadium. You're going to own no percentage of revenue, proceeds, anything off of that. Then you're going to turn around and pay another $380 million for a new baseball stadium. You're going to have no ownership or control over none of the proceeds, profits, or nothing. While your teachers are holding the front line using tape and staplers to educate your children. Black people, you don't want to listen to new leadership? Like I said, this is the motivation that's going to stop these people from doing what they're doing. But it's only going to stop when you stop it. Keep that in mind.